What's going on, people? Welcome to BrickTalk episode 19. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about LEGO investments that have surprised us, sets that were overrated and did not meet our expectations, and underrated sets that completely outperformed everyone's expectations.
Let's do this.
So the first set I want to talk about today, set number 31122, the Creator 3-in-1 Fish Tank. Now, as everyone knows or should know, this set was a Walmart exclusive. Launched in June of 2021 and retired at the end of 2022, this has been nearly 2 years retired. Originally $30, Bricklink has the new price as $47. But if we look on Amazon, we can see this set is selling today for $87. And despite being 2 years retired and selling for nearly triple its MSRP, we can see there's still 100 plus bought in the last month. If we look at the sales rank on this set, we can see it's under 1,000 in toy building sets, which is really good for a set that's 2 years retired and selling for triple its MSRP. Now, as we talk about LEGO investing, we're always talking about growth from MSRP, and I missed out on this set because this set was a Walmart exclusive. It was seldom available on sale online, and it's not part of my strategy to regularly go into Walmarts to do in-store clearance. I just find it too frustrating and too much of a waste of time. But I did hear from some of my LEGO investor friends that this set went on clearance for $22. That's about 25% off, and some saw it even as low as $17. Now, I'm not a math whiz, but if you bought a set for $17 and 2 years later can sell it for $90, I'd say that's a pretty good return on investment.
But sets that are retiring at the end of this year that could be most similar to that one are this Deep Sea Creatures 3-in-1, the Fantasy Forest Creatures 3-in-1, the White Rabbit, this Walmart exclusive Birdhouse, and then this Target exclusive Exotic Pink Parrot.
I think when certain sets retire, any demand that would go to those sets in retirement instead shifts over to new sets that are still available, and the old set basically gets forgotten about for all except the most hardcore of Creator 3-in-1 collectors, which I don't know many of. I have never met one. And while there are other undersea creature sets, there aren't any other fish tanks, except for the super rare Bricklink designer program version. That's a different animal altogether. And I think all the demand that would have gone to the fish tank, well, there's no alternative on the market, so it just goes to the retired fish tank. But of the sets that you mentioned, the one I think that has the most similarity, the two with the most similarity, would be the Walmart exclusive Birdhouse and the Target exclusive Pink Parrot. That Birdhouse has a 2-year shelf life, and while it started out a Walmart exclusive, it looks like it has started showing up at Kohl's and other places. So that was a timed exclusive, apparently, and it might be more available now. So don't count on the Walmart exclusivity carrying this set to a lofty valuation, since it might not be exclusive after all.
They are not on the shelves in any of my Walmarts anymore.
Yeah.
They're online still, but man, they are hard to find out in the wild right now.
What I like about this set a lot is 476 parts, and this amount of bulk in a $30 box is incredible value for the money, even at MSRP. So once this set sells out at MSRP and the market truly gets to decide the price, I think this price is automatically going to go to 40 or 50 bucks, because I see a lot of value here.
Are we still talking about birds and Creator 3-in-1 animals? Because I tuned you out a long time ago, but at least I got a little mental break in. I gave my brain a little sleep.
All right, well, we promised a bird episode, and so far, this is shaping up to be it.
Did we promise a bird episode? I don't remember that. Did anybody ask for a bird episode?
Absolutely no one. People just want to talk about Star Wars.
So here's the first sitcom set that came out in 2015, Big Bang Theory. It was an idea set, exploded in value. Why did it explode in value? Obviously a popular show, a very low supply. You know, people really didn't know what to think about a set like this. And it performed okay for LEGO, but great on the secondary market. And so then they came back with this Friends Central Perk, 60 to 75, retired in 2022. That's okay. It got a bump because of Matthew Perry passing away. Same thing with the Friends Apartment that retired at the end of last year. Pretty good, 180 to 248. So all of these have performed higher than I ever would have imagined. But then we come to Seinfeld that retired at the end of 2022, and this one is flat, 80 to 80. However, I know you picked up a few of these at really good discount and did all right. And so even these have some demand. So the big question I have is, how well will this Office set that is retiring at the end of this year going to do in ROI? I think it's going to be great. $120 feels a little expensive. It is a Walmart exclusive. I have not seen it on sale yet ever, but I want to point out, and I'm getting out ahead of you on this one, DG, we're going to Google Trends. That's right. Let's do this. So in blue is The Office, and in this reddish color is Friends, both sitcoms. Obviously, Matthew Perry passed away around this time point. We've seen them both have some spikes. Friends has had some greater spikes than The Office, but over the last 5 years, The Office has been more popular than Friends. We know they're both great shows, huge popularity, but I think that there is one fantastic advantage for this set, which is 15 minifigures. Compared to the 3 sitcom sets that have performed well in the past, they only have 7 minifigures each, the Big Bang Theory and then the 2 Friends sets. Double the minifigures for The Office. I think that's a huge selling point.
I completely agree. I love all the jokes and Easter eggs hidden in this set. The fact that this is a Walmart exclusive. The fact that it's seldomly been put on sale. In fact, I've never seen it on sale online. And like I said with my Birdhouse, I don't go into Walmarts and try for in-store clearance. I just find my batting average is too low. I can never find anything good. It's always picked over. But the fact that this has seldomly been put on sale, even in store, works to my advantage because it levels the playing field. It means others haven't picked up this set on 25 or 50% off. And if this set retires, as it's expected to do, without ever being put on a significant discount, not only is that going to constrain the aftermarket supply held by resellers, but it's also going to mean that as the price rises to $130, $140, $150, one day $200, all those resellers are still going to be holding because no one wants to buy a set for $120 and net after fees just 10 or 20 bucks of profit. So I think the second this retires, assuming there are no discounts, it's quickly going to reach $200 in price. That's my prediction.
DG, I love your prediction, but I don't love that you are kind of so-so on the TV show itself. For all you viewers out there that totally disagree with him, because I know that's most of us, please leave your comments in the comment section, care of DG Bricks, and let him know how you feel, because I agree with you guys. It's a fantastic show. DG is from Mars if he doesn't think this show is awesome.
We're just going to have to agree to disagree, but you know what, KDX? I also have beef with you. You have falsely misrepresented the Seinfeld set's performance. I did amazing on this set. Now, I only had 5 copies, and I sold them for around $120 to $130 on eBay. Brickset lists the Bricklink price, which for this set is flat at its MSRP, $80. But looking on eBay, this set consistently sells around $120. We see as high as $140 with free shipping. And if we look on Amazon, selling at $162, over double the MSRP, close to 2 years after its retirement. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one hit $200 this Q4.
And it's selling $100 in the last month. That's insane.
This just illustrates the importance of checking multiple sources for price info. Just looking at Brickset, you would think, oh, this set is flat after 2 years, total dud. But you have to look on eBay and you have to look on Amazon to get a complete picture of the Lego aftermarket.
But the question is The Office overhyped or underhyped right now? What do you think?
I'm going to say it's appropriately hyped. It is significantly hyped, but like you said, 15 exclusive minifigures in an ideas set with just over a 2-year shelf life. That's pretty hard to come by.
I think the data shows that it's slightly underhyped, probably just because it hasn't gone on sale any significant amount or time period, which means people aren't talking about as much. But the data shows 14 mentions. The highest on the table is 52 mentions with the Princess Leia helmet. The Tusken Raider Brickhead is 27 mentions. The Stormtrooper mech is 22 mentions. And then all the way down here with only 14 mentions. But it does have a 2.4 out of 3.0 enthusiasm score. So for me, I feel like the mentions are a little too low, but the E-score is pretty good. So I think that you're pretty accurate, that it's about right on the hype.
Wait a minute. You're telling me The Office has fewer mentions than the Stormtrooper mech?
So the Stormtrooper mech has, 22 mentions and an E-score of 2.2. So it's only 0.2 below The Office in enthusiasm score, but 50% more mentions.
Well, I have some thoughts on that Stormtrooper mech. I know it's the best selling for a very good reason, but with the latest LEGO Star Wars news, I think that set is about to fall off a cliff, and here's why. Now, the reason I think the Stormtrooper mech is not going to perform as everyone thought it would is because the Stormtroopers in that mech, the #1 reason for buying that set to army build, has just been rendered obsolete because with the new Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder battle pack, fans can now get 3 of this same exact Stormtrooper in a $40 set, putting the price per Stormtrooper at $13.33 instead of $16 for the mech. And in addition to these Stormtroopers, you're going to get some Rebel Fleet Troopers, as well as 2 pretty decent builds that I personally think are way cooler than the Stormtrooper mech. Now, in a recent video I made talking about this set, I put out some bad information. I thought this would be a mass market battle pack available for years to come, but it turns out this set, launching at the beginning of October, and retailing for $40 is only going to be available until the end of the year.
And honestly, I was like, no way. And so I just brushed that from my mind. And so now that you're telling me that it actually is very likely to retire at the end of this year, that's pretty wild. That is perking my interest.
So, LEGO exclusive set made available in Q4 and only available for a couple of months. Does this remind you of any sets from the last couple of years, KDX? Well, it's our old friend, the set from last year, 40658 Millennium Falcon Holiday Diorama, also launched in October of that year and sure enough, retired at the end of the year. This was only a $30 MSRP and it's fundamentally a lot different. It's a scene instead of vehicles. And if we look at the history of LEGO Star Wars sets, the scene play sets generally don't do as well as the vehicle play sets. And if we look at how this holiday diorama is performing, prices on eBay, not so great. We're seeing it sell under its MSRP. Looks like someone sold a whole bunch of them for $29 with free shipping. Now granted, it is September 22nd as we record this, and maybe demand for this set will pick up as we get closer into the holiday season. But as of now, I'm willing to call this set pretty much a flop of a LEGO investment. But the two huge negatives for the Falcon Holiday Diorama, it's based on the Sequel Trilogy and it has sequel minifigures, and being a holiday set, this set is only relevant for about 1/4 of the year. This Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder shares neither of those problems. It's a $40 MSRP, and for the minifigure count and the part count, I think that's a fair price. It's going to be LEGO exclusive, incredibly short shelf life, and unlike the Falcon Holiday Diorama, this is going to be in demand year-round. So at least for the short term, I think this is going to suck some of the air out of that Stormtrooper mech, since for the next couple of months, buyers are going to be able to get a much better army building set. And it's possible that toward the end of the year, as LEGO wants to clear out stock, this set could go 30% off, like that Falcon Holiday Diorama, which would put this set at $28 before VIP points or other gift with purchases. Watch out, folks. This could be a screaming LEGO investment. The holiday diorama kind of made sense to have a surprisingly short shelf life because no one would buy that in March, April, May until the following holiday season. This set, I don't really see a reason to retire it after a 3-month shelf life, but that's what LEGO has chosen to do, and so we're going to have to see how it plays out.
So the Scout Speeder, I think, looks awesome. The Rebel Troopers, they're okay. I don't think they get army built nearly as much, and who really cares? But they're cool. The Stormtroopers are awesome. They're great for army building. These days, Stormtroopers are a dime a dozen, and I realize this means the Stormtrooper in the mech is no longer exclusive, but even that Stormtrooper, yes, it was exclusive before this set, but it wasn't that special. I mean, you line up a bunch of Stormtroopers, you gotta have a pretty good eye to see the differences or to really care. And so I don't think that Stormtrooper mech really depended that much on the single minifigure. I think it's about the whole package, the whole box, and therefore I think the mech will still do pretty decent. When we look at superheroes mechs and other mechs from the past, the minifigures usually aren't that big of a piece of the resale value. It's just cool having a nice little mech, and they're pretty inexpensive. If you can source the mechs for less than $10, which is pretty easy to do, it's not a far stretch for people to pay $30 for a mech. A lot different when you say, hey, it's a $300 set and now I'm paying $900. Then people are going to search around a little bit more and try to find better ways to source what they want. So I'm still not that worried about the mech, but I've always thought the Boba Fett mech would be the highest performing of the three anyways.
Well, the one distinguishing factor about the Stormtrooper mech is it's the only mech not based on a named character. And so my theory for the popularity, why it's selling 2 or 3 times the amount of the other mechs, was because of the Stormtrooper in it, people wanting to army build with that. Now that that Stormtrooper is no longer exclusive, it'll be interesting to watch what happens with the sales volume on the Stormtrooper mech. And I know you say Stormtroopers are a dime a dozen, and aftermarket prices, I do agree with you, but it's important to remember that previous to this new Rebel vs. Imperial battle pack getting leaked, the Stormtrooper mech was the only set currently on shelves to contain any Stormtroopers. Yep. That's unusual to happen in a period of LEGO history. Now, I'm sure new sets will come out with, again, more Stormtroopers, and they'll continue to be a dime a dozen. But at least for the moment, until we get new sets announced, the Stormtrooper mech and this new battle pack are going to retire. There's going to be no way to get a Stormtrooper. This is actually the 3rd iteration of the Imperial Dropship, which was entirely invented by LEGO for this set, interestingly. Never appears in any media. Here's the first version we talked about, and the platform actually held all 4 troopers if you wanted it to. $10 now goes for, according to Brickset prices / Bricklink prices, $45 new. Now that has been retired for 15 years. Back 5 years ago, in 2019, we got the 20th anniversary version, a reimagining with modern parts and a little bit of a modernized construction. Same 4 minifigures with modernized designs and the collectible Han Solo. He goes for only $8 new, but the Imperial Shadow Trooper, $18 new, originally available in this $20 set. That's not bad. And then, of course, we have this newest Imperial Dropship and Scout Speeder. We'll have to see how that one does.
So let's put a bow on the Office set and let's play one of our favorite games. And I'm getting out ahead of you again, DG. It is time for Guess the Part Out Value. And since I pull this up first, you get to guess first because I'm always the one that looks like the dunce. So we're going to guess the part out value of the Office set. And I think this is going to be a tough guess because the pieces aren't that valuable, but there's lots of stickers in there that could be of some value. And obviously all of the minifigures.
I can't believe it. You're going to school me at my own game. I'm going in blind. It looks like a lot of large parts, potentially valuable parts in a variety of colors. My guess is for the average of the currently available and the sold items, $190.
All right, you're going with $190. But did you just say that you're coming into this one cold, blind, and you usually do look at the part out value? Meaning that when you've pulled this trickery game on me in the past, you've pre-looked at it? Is that what I just heard? I'm just doing some deductive reasoning here.
No.
Figuring out that I've been set up all these times.
No, once again, this is misrepresentation. You will be hearing from my lawyer.
That is not what I heard. You'll be hearing from my lawyer, darn it. I'm going average 220. Let's do it. Get value.
Whoa!
Not bad. Average about 240.
Not bad. Are you kidding me? That's insanely good. 212 6-month sales average and 277 currently for sale.
Hey, should we cut out all this stuff about The Office? I'm worried too many people are going to figure out this is such a great set now.
Only if they can get it on discount.
Let's look at some old Star Wars building or scene sets that I am very unimpressed with their aftermarket performance. Retiring in 2001, Death Star Final Duel.
2001?
2021.
2001, buddy.
This is 2021. Now I had to check myself. I'm like, I am reading that right. Okay, 2021. So only a few years off the shelves. $100 to $107. And we've talked about how you got to look at prices at multiple sites. In my opinion, Brick Set is about 90% accurate, and the number is usually after shipping and fees. So when I am doing a quick glance and I see 107, I say, okay, probably sell it for about 130 or so on eBay. Sure enough, in that ballpark, 122 with 10 shipping, 120 with 10 shipping. Not a big performing set for $100 MSRP. Here's Snoke's Throne Room that retired in 2019. So this one is over 5 years off the shelves, 70 to 90. Not terrible, but this was before the huge bump in overall Lego demand in 2020, 2021. And so that's not great. Just a $20 increase since 2019. Here we are looking at Camel 3X. Pretty slow burn. It even leveled out a little bit, and then it's gone up better recently. Now, obviously, it's a much higher price on Amazon than what we would get on eBay or Bricklink. But still, this is not a hugely overwhelming performance in the positive direction.
I mean, it's moving in the right direction, but that's a pretty flat slope. I do have to agree.
And then a third set that I'm not very impressed with, and this was a Amazon exclusive, $130 set, $178 now. Now that's pretty good, but not great for an exclusive. And this did not jump in price for the first few years. It was pretty flat, and then it finally jumped up. And it has 6 really cool minifigures. 2 of them are exclusive. So why do I tell all this to you? Because now we need to look at the Yavin 4 Rebel base. It came out in late 23 and retired at the end of this year. So just under a year and a half shelf life is pretty good. 12 minifigures, 7 of them are exclusive. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because I think this set is overhyped, even though there isn't a ton of buzz around it. Now, of course, when it goes on the 40 or 50% discount, then my story changes. But I got to start out with their retail price. Year to date, it only has 7 mentions and it has a decently low 1.7 enthusiasm score. And it also has 4 mentions against investing. So those metrics sound like I'm contradicting myself. Why am I saying it's overhyped? Well, I've seen a lot of comments about it. There's some overhype that I don't think is valid or accurate.
I'm really glad you brought this set up, KDX, because this illustrates a great point in Lego investing, which is that it's not about how much a set grows from its MSRP, it's about how much it grows from the price you got it at. And this has been knocked down to 40% or 50% off. I'd be willing to bet that the majority of investors who have picked this up have done so around $100 or maybe $110. So it's very possible to make money on a terrible set for investment if you get it at the right price. And conversely, on a set like The Office, it could be an amazing set and undergo undergo amazing growth from its MSRP, but if you got it for its MSRP and then you paid sales tax on top of that, it's not going to be as strong of a LEGO investment. And so as much as we like to break down sets for their characteristics and say, I think this set will be good because XYZ or bad because of these other comps, it really always comes down to buy low, sell high. It doesn't even really matter what you're buying. That's how you make money trading stocks, collectibles, cars, real estate, anything. Buy low, sell high.
That's true, DG, and you didn't walk into the trap that I tried to set for you. I was curious if you were going to go down but Kevin, there are 12 minifigures and 7 of them are exclusive, and that will carry the day for this set. Because if we go to the minifigures, Chewie's in 19 sets, General Dodonna is in 2 sets, C-3PO is in 3, R2-D2 in 5. Now we get down to the minifigures that are exclusive. The Y-Wing pilot, the Astromech droid, another Rebel pilot, Princess Leia Celebration, Luke and Han with the medals because they're celebrating, a fleet trooper, and then a rebel crew. None of these exclusive minifigures are that special. I mean, I think the best are Luke and Han with the medals on, but it's not like those are special prints. Those are just extra pieces that we've already had in other sets. And so I just don't even see the minifigures being that big of a hit on this set.
It is so funny that you mentioned these celebration outfits being nothing special, because I was just going through a LEGO minifigure lot, piecing together these figures. We have an older version of a Celebration Han and an older version of a Celebration Luke. So a quick quiz for you, Kevin. We'll just look at Celebration Luke, for example. What do you think the value is for Celebration Luke here?
$25.
Oh, wrong you are. 6-month sales average, 55 times it has sold for an average price of $4 and change.
Holy crap, that's low. I can't believe that.
So this just further illustrates your point, which is that these minifigures are not that special. Yeah, there's 12 of them and 7 are unique. Nobody cares about unique Rebel minifigures, for the most part, unless you're talking about a smooth hair Leia.
I do want to look at one more comparable set. It is a Star Wars, obviously, and it has a scene and buildings and structures, and it has lots of minifigures, and I've seen once or twice somebody refer to this set and say, well, Betrayal at Cloud City is from $350 to almost $1,000, and it's a good comparable to use. Absolutely not, in my opinion. This is something special, and it is sub-theme Master Builder series. There are only 2 in this sub-theme. The other one is the Mos Eisley Cantina that is also retiring at the end of this year. If this set is going to be any indicator or influence on a future retiring set, it will be this one and this one only, in my opinion. With this one retiring and 21 minifigures, 9 exclusive, all attention will go to this. No attention will go to this when it comes to, hey, here's a Star Wars build and building and structure with a bunch of minifigures. Before we wrap up on the Yavin 4 Rebel base, let's play our favorite game again. I put you on the spot.
I think the average of our 2 part out values on Bricklink is going to be no more than $108. That's my guess.
That's your guess.
I haven't looked at this, so that's a blind guess.
So I'm feeling just the 6-month actual sales average. I feel good about my guess too, and it's different than yours. And I'm gonna go $219.77. I just have a premonition, and I just feel like going for it. And so let's hit the get value button. Bam, $219.82. 5 minutes ago it was $219.77, but apparently it changed in the last 5 minutes.
Whoa, we got a cheater pumpkin eater. You gotta be kidding me, man. That's hilarious.
I can promise you 5 minutes ago I had it on the money, but it changed in the last 5 minutes from when I looked it up. I think you were yabbing on about birds and fish tanks. All right, so now we need to analyze both of our guesses. So I was at $219.77. I was off by 5 cents. I feel like that was a pretty good guess. And you were what, at 106?
I was about $110 in the wrong direction on this one.
The big thing we learned here today is that you and I, neither of us have Bricklink stars, and neither of us sell individual parts. That is way too much work.
While I do think the Cantina set is going to do well, we have to consider we've had play-scale Cantina sets before. They've done kind of middlingly, but Cloud City is one of those locations that LEGO just really rarely makes. We don't see this setting in LEGO very often. And other than the 2018 Carbon Freezing Chamber, the only other Bespin sets to speak of are a couple of Cloud cars and, of course, the 10123 $10,000 Cloud City from back in 2005. I think Cloud City has become its own driver sliver of values within LEGO, and anything Cloud City is just going to go crazy. In fact, Cloud City hype is so ridiculous that I want to pull up a seemingly unrelated set. This is the 20th anniversary Snowspeeder from back in 2019. Now, this is a standalone Snowspeeder set with a little Hoth Rebel turret side build. Pretty normal. 4 minifigures, 3 unique, $40. But look, Brickset has the value as $123. Now, this set is 5 years retired, but even according to Brickset, it's tripled in price. Why might this be? Let's check out the minifigures. We have a Pilot Luke, $6 in new condition, a DAC, $12, Hoth Rebel Trooper, $6, and Cloud City Lando. Now, this is not the original. It is a reprint in the same design. The torso has a 20th anniversary plaque on the back, so it's not the same torso. We've changed over to reddish brown ever since about 2006 or 7. So the brown parts on Lando are not interchangeable with the original Cloud City Lando, which I am proud to have in my collection. But look here, just this reference to Cloud City Lando, $65. People love Cloud City Lando and anything LEGO Cloud City. So that Betrayal at Cloud City Master Builder Series set has gone crazy in price. I don't think the Cantina is going to perform nearly as well as that set, but I still do think it's a strong set for investment. And I have one more thing to show you. As we record this video, Target is doing 20% off select LEGO items, and look what went on sale. Your Mos Eisley Cantina, 20% off. From $400 down to $320, out of stock. I missed it. I'm sure this went very quickly.
I do agree with you, DG, that this Cantina will not perform like Cloud City, but I still think it's going to do pretty well. You mentioned that past Cantinas have been so-so, but I want to show something specific. The first one, which was very small, 193 pieces, $30 to $250 back in 2004. Different times, totally makes sense. But then the 2014 version, $70 to $133, that's not bad.
It's 10 years retired or 9 years retired.
I get that, but it's a small portion of the Cantina. And then the 2018 version, $40 to only $50. This is the one that's not performing well. And in my opinion, it's not because it's only 6 years old. Instead, it's because it's very chunky, it's small.
Yeah, this just looks like a whole lot of nothing. That side build white Imperial thing, you get a couple bar taps at the bar, but you just get like 2 curved parts of the Cantina. That's a horrible Cantina build. And then you do have the booth where Han shot first, depending on which A New Hope cut you're watching. And then in the middle here, we have sort of a nothing build. And so, yeah, this set, I can see why it performed terribly.
Yep, so when we compare that to the previous two, so the original has the dewback, which is a bunch of larger pieces, pretty awesome. Some good minifigures. Luke's land speeder, I know that's nothing special, but still, it's cool in the original 2004 set. And then in the 2015 set, same thing. We've got the speeder, we've got the dewback, and we have more of the Cantina and therefore more minifigures. So of course, it makes sense that this one would perform pretty well up until the new Master Builder series came out. And so these two are the actual comparables that I look at that have performed pretty well, even though they are quite old. This one is a total throwaway for me. So when we look at the new one, I think now that it has all of the good parts that have been represented in the previous well-performing sets, couple of ships, tons of minifigures, the last Cantina retired in 2018. It's been a while. That's where I think that this one picks up some steam and does pretty well. Again, not like Cloud City, but it does very well.
Yeah, I'm big on that Cantina as well. I live in a place where the sales tax is pretty high, 7, 8, 9, 10%. I'm going to be out the door not at $320, but closer to $350, which is an okay price for the Cantina. But what I would love to see is for this to go on 20% off, a little bit like last year's UCS Gunship went 30% off from LEGO Shop at Home. I'll still be paying sales tax there, but I'll get VIP points, potentially even a gift with purchase, and I would love to pick up 5, 6, or 8 of these Cantinas at under $300 cost.
I'm probably not investing in more than 1 or 2 of these, if that, because I am nervous about having the larger boxes and the larger price point. It's harder to find a buyer, it's harder to ship, it's harder to manage. And so that's the one thing. If this was like a $250 set, I'd already have a bunch, but at $400 retail price, that's getting into the high risk area. Even though I'm confident it will do well in the secondary market, I'm not sure that I personally want to take on that risk.
I totally hear you, and you're right, this set will be difficult to shift, but it's just such an all-time iconic LEGO Star Wars set that I feel very comfortable going in. As much buzz as this set has been getting, I think a lot of investors are going to get cold feet about investing in such an expensive set, and I have no doubt that this is going to be a $500 or $600 set. Long term, if you're willing to hold it for years and years, I think we could see $700 or $800. And I do want to also point out, Kevin, that on our very first episode of the podcast, we were debating debating which is going to do better, the UCS gunship or the Mos Eisley Cantina. Now, the gunship, of course, has a 1-year head start, so it's not going to be apples to apples, but I look forward to reviving our debate and seeing how these sets perform.
I like it because the gunship, which you were quite high on, is only so-so out of the gate so far.
It is if you got it at MSRP, but once again, it's not about growth from MSRP. It's about growth from the price you got it at. And if you got a great price like I did, $280 plus a little tax, my out-the-door price is about $306 on the gunship. You're doing a lot better.
Why do you got to keep reminding me? I remember, and I know that you texted me. I was supposed to get some. I was at my kid's soccer game. I got home. I had to go to the bathroom, eat lunch. I got back to the computer and they were sold out and I missed it by 30 minutes. You keep pouring salt in the wound. It hurts every time. I don't like it.
Well, you haven't asked me for one yet, man. And every year the price keeps going up.
I hope that thing goes to $10 per piece.
All right, Kevin, well, I may have taken the W on the UCS gunship, but I am about to take an L and swallow my pride for this next set. You may recall that a couple of months ago when we did our Star Wars tier list, I was pretty harsh on some of these sets down in D tier, Sequel Trilogy, and Dogwater. But today, that's about to change. Due to some recent information, I have changed my mind significantly on one of these sets down in the bottom tier. Do you have any idea what set that might be?
Wait, so is it out of D tier, Sequel Trilogy, and Dogwater?
I'll make it a little bit easier for you. It's a Sequel Trilogy set.
A Sequel Trilogy set. Chewbacca! We're going Chewbacca!
Okay, I'm just gonna ignore that. We're just gonna...
Did I get it right?
Heck no, buddy.
Oh, man.
And that set is the 75257 Millennium Falcon. Hey, the set number is an anagram. That's pretty cool. It's the same forward and backwards. So this is the Millennium Falcon from the Sequel Trilogy. Wah, wah. However, as we've been saying, it's all about the price you pay for the set. And today, this set is available from Target for $108. It's not usually $136 like Target says. It's actually $170 MSRP. And today you can pick it up for $108 and change. Looking here on eBay, this set is selling under its MSRP, but looking here around $120 plus 15 shipping, $150 sold just a couple of days ago, $130 with shipping, $130. So you can pick this set up now under its eBay price. If we check here on Amazon, they have matched that same deal and 2,000 bought in the last month. And sliding over here to our brand new Dark Falcon, I see a rare opportunity in LEGO investing for a Playscale Millennium Falcon to perform, because the Falcon on shelves for the next year, or maybe even two, is going to be the Dark Falcon. We're going to have the MIDI scale Falcon at $85, the UCS Falcon at $850, and there's going to be a hole there in the market for at least the next year, or until we have a new Falcon announced in a couple of months, that there's no normal Playscale Falcon. I can't believe it. Looking at the signs on this set, I'm actually kind of impressed. According to LEGO fans, this is the best designed Playscale Falcon ever made. It's selling like hotcakes. That's why LEGO has kept it around for a 5-year shelf life. Like everything in LEGO investing, it's all about the price you pay. And at $108 out the door, I love this Falcon.
So I don't know if I love it, but the second that the Dark Falcon got announced, I had the exact same thoughts. I was like, hold on a second, hold the phone. There's a gap in the market. You already laid that out. And so then I started trying to analyze and ask the question, hey, how long will the Dark Falcon be on the shelves? And will LEGO come out with a new canonically accurate Falcon, whatever one it is? It seems like any of them are fine. Obviously, a gray one would have the most negative impact on the set that we're talking about investing in here. We know that another standard gray Falcon play scale with minifigures is coming pretty soon.
But at the moment, there are no rumors or leaks of any such Falcon, and the fact that they just released this play scale Dark Falcon tells me that at least for the next year, there should be runway ahead of this retiring Sequel Trilogy Falcon. And at the time we did our tier list and our due diligence, that was absolutely accurate. No one would invest in a play scale Falcon because they come all the time. But since April, when we made that list, the Dark Falcon has come out. I would be shocked if LEGO also released a new gray Falcon. That makes no sense at all. Yep. So hold your horses, folks. The game has changed.
I think it could even be a couple of years. It just seems like they're clearly trying to open up some new sub-themes. And in my eyes, it's like new markets for LEGO. So they're trying to open up the MIDI scale. They're trying to open up some non-canonical, just some imaginative type stuff in the Dark Falcon. And so if they're trying to have those pick up some steam, then it would be counterintuitive for them to release another just standard play scale gray Millennium Falcon. And yes, the midi scale Falcon is great. I think that will be a decent performer when it's on sale because it's a huge, huge retail price. The Dark Falcon, I think, is awesome. I am super excited about that one. I don't think it's going to have a crazy long shelf life. Probably 2.5 years. Came out in the middle of this year, so retire at the end of 26 is probably what I'm thinking.
Maybe. I think all of the Rebuild the Galaxy sets are going to be short shelf life, retiring end of 25. If they keep one around extra long, I think it would be the Dark Falcon.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
At the longest, maybe it could be 2.5 years, but I really think that these sets, however they sell, are just an interesting side project for LEGO. They're going to have a shorter shelf life. I have no information to substantiate this. It's just my gut feeling that these Rebuild the Galaxies might be retiring end of 25.
But I think LEGO is doing these different kind of little quasi sub-themes for a reason. So I don't think they want to shoot themselves in the foot with another standard Falcon right away.
That would certainly cannibalize demand, and it doesn't make sense for them to have a Falcon Microfighter or something. They've always got an Advent Calendar Falcon.
Yep.
A MIDI Falcon, a Playscale Falcon, a UCS Falcon, and a weird offshoot Dark Falcon. That's too many Falcons. So the Dark Falcon is going to take the place of the Playscale Falcon. And hey, again, with this retiring set, not for a long hold, because it's going to be made obsolete. But for the next year, maybe year and a half, there does seem to be a window that this set could perform. Obviously, there's demand. There is maybe high supply, but getting it at 108, I think you could do very well on this as a LEGO investment.
Well, that was a juicy one that you brought up. I like it. Good one.
We can get even more information if we look on Camel 3X. Green Line is just sold direct by Amazon. Early in life, you had few discounts, and then as the years went by, you saw this available for around $128 or $135.
And remember, DG, the dotted green line means that's when it was out of stock by Amazon.
Correct. So in a minute, we are going to enable the third-party sales for these periods and see what happened. But just by looking at the green line, we can assess how good this current $108 sale is. The current sale is by far the best sale ever seen on Amazon. Now let's look at that third-party sales data. Boom! Early in life, well over $200, even as high as at its highest point, $299 a couple months after release. Of course, the set is a lot more available since then, and while it might reach that eventually, Playscale Falcons don't reach $300 because a new one comes out and crushes that demand, redirects it into the new set. This is actually shockingly good. What do you think?
Last Q4, where it jumped to about 225, is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm impressed. It looks like the demand on this set is really, really strong. The long shelf life could have been a clue to tell us that. LEGO's kept it around for 5 years. The fact that 2,000 are selling a month on Amazon, even at an over $100 price point, is another sign the set is selling strong. And so if you can buy at 108 down here and sell even at a modest 200, before fees, that's nearly doubling your money. And after fees, you're probably at a 40 to 60% ROI.
Which, as we know, is pretty good in the LEGO reselling game these days. You know, the big home runs don't happen nearly as much. And so we've all adjusted to say, hey, 40 to 60% return on investment is darn good, and it still is a lot better than the stock market.
So if we want to get a better picture of the supply-demand balance on this set, we could look at a tool like Keepa. But what I'm going to use as a member of BrickBucks Ignite is the supply and demand channel within the BrickBucks Ignite Discord. I will type in the set number, and let's look at this Falcon. So there are 3 unique Amazon listings for this set. Let's scroll down to the main listing, and a couple things pop out at me as interesting about this data. The all-time average sales rank is 27,000. Not so bad for an expensive playset, but over the last year, it's way lower at 3,798. What this means is that this Playscale Falcon is selling a lot faster now over the last year in its last year of shelf life before it retires. Looking here at the all-time row, we can see that over the set's life, it's been out of stock 63% of the time at Amazon.
Probably was out of stock a lot early.
And when it's been out of stock, the average aftermarket price has been $167.20, so basically the MSRP.
A couple things I like about this table. One is, as you mentioned, over the last year, the sales rank is really, really low, which is good. So low, it means great, means high sales volume. And I think that's for 2 reasons. One, it's been on sale a lot more. We can see the sales price in the last 90 days average is $135. And the other reason I think it's a low sales rank is because it is on the retirement list this year. And it seems like everybody is agreeing that this one will actually retire. Those retirement lists are never perfect. Sometimes sets come and go. When the consumer sees and hears that this set will actually be gone very soon, a lot more people are diving in and getting it. That is a high sign for demand. And then the other thing that I love about this table is that last Q4, when it was out of stock, $189. And so now we're talking about a decent jump, especially when you get it on the buy low, sell high format. But we do not give any investing advice on our podcast or on either of our channels. This is for entertainment purposes only. We just have a lot of fun talking about Lego sets and sharing what we like to do with our Lego hobby and our Lego investing.
If and only if you are interested in trying Ignite, we do have a free 1-month trial available at the link in the description below. If you're interested, you can hit that link, sign up for free for 1 month, and check it out. If you find that it's not for you, you can cancel and it won't cost you a thing. Now, it's a little expensive, so it's not for everyone, but if you try it out for free and you find it valuable and you do end up paying for a subscription, BrickTalk will get a referral bonus from your sign up, so it is a great way to support the podcast.
Whether you sign up with Ignite or not, first and foremost, we really appreciate everybody watching our podcast, all of the comments. As you guys already know, DG and I have a lot of fun with this. We love to do the research and share the information, but we also love just talking about Lego with each other.
And personally, I love reading the comments. I learn a lot from our viewers' comments. So whether you agree with us, disagree, or you have thoughts on something else Lego related entirely, feel free to leave a comment below.
And remember, send all your hate mail about DG not thinking The Office is one of the best shows in history. Put it right in our comments, because I like reading all that hate mail too. Lay it on. Don't hold back. Give him what he deserves.
Thank you very much for watching. As always, we will see you again soon.
Looking forward to the next one. Thanks again, everybody.